Welcome in, peoples. Hello there. I am Chef Jay Tay, happy to see all of you. Welcome back. Hello, hello. Hi there, Sofluff. Welcome in, Will Poker. Hello, the Rose Witch. Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to start off with cake. After we do coffee. Hello, Splits. Welcome in, El Capitano. I had a bruise on the back of my hand now. For, I don't know, like week and a half now? Just won't go away. Not necessarily ouch. Like, it hasn't bothered me. It's on the back of my hand, so it's not like it hits everything all the time. I'm just more confused. Like, why ain't you working, body? Get rid of that thing. I tend to use them a little bit more for sports and stuff like that, but generally when you hear IV, it's not a good time. I still don't know what I want to do for making this cake. I haven't made a full plan for what I'm doing. So what's everyone else up to? Is this working tonight? I don't think it is. But I could be hopeful. I don't think you're working tonight, GoPro. Oh, you did. Hi, Chris. Hot dogs and coleslaw. That sounds good. I like beef stew too, though. I have bought no cream for tonight's coffee. I've landed on beef stew for the last couple of birthdays here. And it's been more like, it's delicious, but it also isn't like full of cream or something else like that. So I feel like it's a much better choice. I don't know. Welcome in, Zahara. Hello. Thank you, Will. Let's give this a little bit of a spin without any half and half in it. Thank you all for joining me. Cheers. Hi, JK. Welcome in, El Capitano. My recycling thingy is full, and I know the recycling thing outside is already full. I'm gonna have recycling stuff for ages. I'm being dramatic, but there's usually more than enough space in the trash. They did just announce that my county's gonna start using cameras on their trucks to charge people for overflowing their bins, which I don't think is really an issue on my part, but still it irks me. Like, what was wrong with the old, like the bin's only gonna hold so much. Like, you can overflow it, but only so much. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to use this whole thing, am I? Not quite. Of course, Sonoma's sort of drone and camera happy. The county's gotten into all sorts of legal issues over them using drones to do code enforcement. One of the lawsuits was about a lady who had some, I don't know if she built a pool illegally or there was something about the way she built her pool illegally or what, but was there in court, and they were showing photos of her backyard using a drone, as if, you know, like she couldn't be out there sunbathing or something, as part of her argument. I don't know how it ruled. It was a little while ago. I don't know if she won it or not. I just know it was going on. So we're melting some fat on the stove. Some butter. Give that another moment to cool down. Yeah, I don't have like an LLM processing what the API is returning. It's just returning description information. After all, if there was a simple source with all these words in it, I have a feeling many of you would just use that source. Here, touch. Hi, Nan Reader. And bust these eggs up into this cake batter. Butter up our pans here. Ah! No! Well, that's a major strike against the new scale. How much was this one again? Okay, I'm calling that close. Enough. Yeah. 10 grams off. Will's going streaking. Oh, hey, I was supposed to turn the oven on already. Oops. So we got two 9-inch pans, so this is sort of the largest size you sort of want to make this. I've had two 9-inch pans for ages, and I sort of wish I had gotten two 8-inch pans back in the day, but... These both don't fit on a single pan, if I remember correctly. Let's check. Do I remember correctly? Do you not fit on the same pan? Nope. Sort of do, but don't. Hey, Foggy. Thank you for the follow. We'll start heating up a pan here to start searing beef. Oh, camera. Thank you, Will. And then it figures itself out before I can correct it. Silly camera. Let's move these out of the heat. Let's see if this does any better tonight. It's been rather unimpressive for a minute, but I hope the fixes have... Well, there you go, Self-Love, if you ever wanted to know your user ID. Oh, bot. We warm back here yet, Pan? Oh, we're getting there. They're starting to get a little loose. That oil. It's not a cast iron pan, but there's some... That's royally screwing that up. I have no idea why it is returning that. That is supposed to be information going to the LLM to respond. That said, your user ID is not really useful for anything unless you're dealing with APIs and stuff like that. Already been 30 minutes. Ad break time again. Let's see if the thing stays up there today. The way it's supposed to. There we go. And then it disappeared again. Awesome! So glad those changes stuck. Now realizing I may not have restarted the bot since making those changes. Yep, done with coffee tonight. Just not feeling that. Nope. I'm gonna go get some water instead. El Capitano shared a stew recipe? I missed that? So we're not completely cooking through the beef, obviously. But we are trying to get some nice color on it first. I'll take these first ones out here. And of course, we're building all that flavor into the bottom of the pan here, too. That's going to eventually become part of this stew. Hey, Sniper. Did I miss the alert? I'll wash my hands here after I add beef to the pan. I didn't hear either of them. Did they play? Worried not all my alerts are working again. Like I was saying, it was... They didn't? Okay. Thank you for the follow. Follow. So we're on round 2 of beef, of at least 3. Well, thank you. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, it's on cooldown. It's sort of silly that Twitch does that to me. I'm streaming, and you're gonna put my stuff on... Ah, that may be something going on there with that. Okay. We can just remove. There we go. Weird how that's happening. Yeah, something... I'm gonna have to probably change my overlays back to the way I used to. It's still giving me issues, apparently. Alright, gonna go ahead and throw these cakes in the oven. Quit making sauce and sear. Thank you. Dragon Sage is streaking too. It's a streaking party. Now we got the last of the beef in there. Heat off in the pan, just because I don't have other veg ready to go in just yet. Rinse off a couple of carrots. Beef smells good. Something's got my nose going tonight. Tonight. Actually, yesterday too. I wonder if I... Yeah. Leaves are tasty, but they don't cook well. They turn bitter really quick. So we're getting rid of the leaves. Throw them in your salad instead. Come on, get out of there, garlic. Yeah. Just a little bit of garlic for tonight. Just a little bit. I think we're good with that. Make some quick Goodfellas garlic here. All right, back to cooking. More oil. Garlic. Onion going in right after. Salt. Celery and carrots going in. Alright, let's pull out these cakes. There be cake. A little apple cider vinegar. Breathe that in if your sinuses are bothering you. Water. And I'm going to add some more water. I just wanted to try and get some of this deliciousness off the bottom before we add more. I mean, look at the color of that already. We haven't even added the beef back in to cook with it. Alright, beef going in now. Back in there. Cakes turned out looking pretty good. I'm happy with those. I don't know why I'm making myself cake. I've got key lime pie in there. We got dessert on Wednesday. Uh, do I have the fan going? I do. Just feels hot over here even still. I guess it's like 80, 90 degrees out today, so. We can turn that off though. Don't need the oven on anymore. That's good. Okay, we got our cakes out of the oven. We got our stew started. I have to do mushrooms still to add into the stew. But I think this is going to be a break point. I think I need a couple minute break. I'm getting too hot in here. I'm getting overheated. And so I am going to open the window. Well, I'm going to check what the temperature's out. It's probably too hot to open the window. Yep. Mid-80s, I'm not going to open a window. But we're going to allow the kitchen to hopefully cool down a little bit and let the oven settle and all of that. And I'm going to take 10 minutes here. So I'm going to play the old school infomercial while we allow the stew to come back up to a boil. And we allow the cakes to cool a little bit. We'll come back, we'll do mushrooms, and then we'll get into doing things for the cake.
Ladies and gentlemen, the management of this theater takes great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week will receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece kitchen cutlery set, one piece each time. It is really interesting and amazing to know how you can prepare your meals in an appetizing and pleasing manner. There's an old saying, and a true one, that what is pleasing to the eye is bound to be pleasing to the appetite. I'm going to demonstrate this set to you, and I want you to watch it very closely. The first cutter that I'm going to show you, now this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side, pull the cutter out. Place the handle in the center and twist it out. This is what they call a French curl. When you fry these, they come out like donuts, nice and brown. Serve them with your steaks or pot roast them. Unwind it, there's two curls out of the one potato. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, wind a little strip of bacon around the potato and serve them with bacon and eggs. They're delicious. Different colored vegetables, wind them together and you get the two colors. Here's a little trick cut. Split the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. Upon my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you start to eat them. Now the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some hamburger. You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in two. Serve them on the half shell just like that. Serve them in slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a beak piece like that. Now the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this, drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast while they're delicious. Here's beet, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other. Cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known as the Champeen Vegetable Mincing Knife and Noodle Cutter. Now, when you want to make some real fine noodles at home, you roll the dough out like this. Dip this into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips, 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake? Why, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers. When you want to chop up a little nuts for cake, cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup, making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat, once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these, cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see here. But here is a tool, ladies, if you ever do get it, you'll thank the day you've seen this demonstration. When you press, it locks. It's like a pair of human hands. Reach in the oven and take the biscuits out of the oven. Ever take the hot potatoes out of the oven and burn yourself on the elbow? A roast chicken out of the oven, a piece of meat out of the pot, spinach, asparagus out of the water. Why, around canning season, when you're preserving the fruits, to take the hot fruit jars out of the water like that, that machine is worth dollars to you. And here's another one that I really know you'll enjoy having in your kitchen, known as the safety grater. No doubt you're familiar with the old-fashioned grater. I've seen ladies take a grater and rip the knuckles off. When you want to grate up potatoes for delicious potato pancakes, this has a smooth, flat edge, impossible to cut yourself. Just like you were washing clothes, you rub it up and down, and you really grate your vegetables real fine, retaining all the flavors and all the juices. Breadcrumbs for when you're serving veal cutlets or anything like that. You want a little breadcrumbs to fry your fish in? Why, there's the greatest proposition in the world. Use that for coconut, cheese, or horseradish. When you're through with it, just heat it down like that. That knocks all the food out. Rinse it out in a little water and hang it up and let it dry. Now here is a stone made of carborundum and sapphire quartz, which is made purposely to keep these knives sharp. When they get dull, a few strokes over the edge like this, and you can put a keen cutting edge on it. If you have a dull knife or a dull pair of scissors, an old sickle or a scythe, a lawnmower, cleaver, an axe, there's a tool that will really put an edge on the knife so the knife will really cut for you. I just want to give you an idea of how sharp that knife really is when you sharpen it with that stone. Ladies, I've seen some of you try to open up cans. Now, there's a can of Campbell's baked beans. I've seen ladies open up a can and you poke a hole in it, go around the top, hippity-hop, and your finger slips. Let me show you a real proposition. Look, lay it on the can, lift up the safety, and turn the key. That locks itself on the can. No harder than you were winding up your watch. Wind up the key and that'll cut the top off of the can slick and smooth. Notice how the end raises itself up in the air so you can lift the lid off, giving you a clean, smooth edge. Now that can be used for sardine cans, square cans or round cans, exactly the same way. Now this tool here, my dear friends, needs no introduction. This will save you on an average of $20 to $30 every year you use it as a peeling knife. Here's a grater for cheese, coconut, or horseradish, a fish scaler for scaling your fish, and when you're coring your apple, it's just a slight twist of the wrist, and there's the apple core. There's one more tool that I want you to see, and I want you to watch this one very closely. Many a times when you're baking a pie, you have a pudding in the oven. I've seen ladies wrap a towel around your hand, and many a times you burn your fingers. Hook this onto the pot like this and lift the hot pots off the top of the stove. You've got a pie pan in the oven, get a hold of the pie pan like this. Why, you couldn't get it off with a team of horses. This will positively lift 100 pounds. There's a pail of water weighs 50 or 60 pounds. That's the way you pick it up. But there's one more tool. I'll be all through and I'll be finished. Oh, now the next tool and the last one is what they call the Sarah Bernhardt cutter. This was invented by the head chef of the Imperial Hotel in the city of Berlin, Germany. You place the screw into the center of the vegetable. Twist the vegetable until the threads catch a hold, then you wind this up. You keep winding until you utilize the whole potato. The faster you turn, the quicker the slices. Why, ladies, here's a machine for slicing onions. The first onion that you slice with this cutter, you'll bless the day you've got a hold of it. Every slice cut exactly the same thickness. Every slice cut the same size. In making what they call a rosette, pull the vegetable out like this. Pin the ends together with a toothpick. Drop that potato into the hot fat and fry it. That will come out like a donut, golden brown. If you're serving a nice fish dinner, a little parsley goes in the center with the fish all around it, makes a very appetizing dish. Did you ever try to slice onions with a knife? You know how you get one thick slice and one thin slice? Run the knife through the center. That will separate each slice individual. Almost like magic, there is every slice cut exactly the same thickness and the same size. Wouldn't you like to have a set like this in your kitchen? Why, of course you would. Now don't forget, attend this theater every week and receive this 12-piece fascinating...
Okay, I'll be back. Let's see. Let's get the camera back too. There we go. Figure it goes with the cake. It's been a couple of years, I think, since I've had Crush. Yeah. Orange Crush Sundays used to be a thing in my house as a kid. For at least a short period of time. I'm not sure what brought us in and what brought us out of that phase. Cakes are still a bit warm. Let's set those off to the side here now. Do some mushroom action. Okay, that's annoying me now. Why is this not working right? Guess we'll just... Sorry to ad viewers, we're going to an ad as soon as I came back from the AFK. That was not my intention whatsoever. My apologies. I'm just going to cut the heels off of these mushrooms while we're waiting. There, that's how that thing's supposed to be working. It's supposed to stay on while the ads are playing. I restarted the bot during the AFK a couple of times, actually. Ooh, I turned you down too much. I want you still bubbling. I just didn't want you at a rolling boil. I don't know what it is. I just sort of feel so out of it today. Just... See how we're doing over here on Twitch. Yeah, I lost like half of my viewers in the AFK. Dope. I will. Waiting until the ads break up until I finish. Go back to finishing cutting up all these mushrooms. Let's see, does this work now? I have a button for that, don't I? Yeah, I have a button for that. Okay, that works once again now that the bot's back up. What? You're not watching ads? You mean that company that's closing all of their stores and going bankrupt because they don't know how to make subs anymore? Because they created a business model that uses too much labor? Because they actually make, well, they used to actually make their own bread, and they used to actually prep their own stuff, and they used to. Hi, Noimu. Thank you. Yeah. I haven't been drinking lately. Yeah. Hence why I didn't pull out a drink when you said you were celebrating the other night. Yeah. Get to the age where I can pickle myself in booze, and doctors all tell me no. Hi, Abby. So we'll go ahead and chop all of this up. Why did I just get another ads alert? What is going on with the bot as far as my ads now? And it didn't do a proper... Or were we in the middle of... Did it not play an ad and say it to late an ad? I hope it's not in some sort of silly loop now where it's going to constantly try and play ads. I hope everyone's having a good start to their week. Hopefully no one's having a case of the Mondays. Heating up the cast iron on the other side of the stove there for our mushrooms. For anyone just joining in, we already have the cake baked. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I've baked yellow cake. No. What have I watched in the last... I haven't really watched a whole lot. So it's not like I like watched other things or something. What? I don't even know what the name of that movie. It's such a B-list like movie too. I started watching one recent movie. Gave up on it halfway through because it was sort of a fluff movie to begin with, but I haven't felt the desire to go back to it. Yeah, there's nothing been like to watch lately either. Like YouTube's doing its best to show me absolutely zero options to watch anything. Like, I don't know which is worse at the job, Netflix or YouTube, but both of them love making their own content. They have all sorts of content. But when you actually try to find any of it, it's the biggest pain in the ass in the world. Devil in Silver. Okay. I have trouble even wanting to start new things, though, too. Like, yeah, so much I watch, I just start watching, and I'm like, I have no interest in it, I just turn it off. I never get stuck into anything anymore. My understanding is that's a thing with TikToks now, too, where the kids are now getting to the point where they can't even bother with the TikToks, where they want the finish of the TikToks at the beginning of the TikTok so that it's even worthwhile to watch it. And my 40-plus-year-old brain is like, huh? Takes me the whole TikTok to even figure out what they're talking about in the first place. Oh, here's an annoyance that happened to me today that actually surprised me. Talking to doctors earlier, I went to call a doctor this afternoon. And I called them the exact time that they were apparently on their 20-minute lunch break, and they have it built into their phone system that the office is closed for 20 minutes. And so I didn't call them back, but like, don't have an answering machine these days? What is this? Yeah, I still have that around too, even though that's getting annoying for kids too. That stuck around for quite a while. Like, that meme had some legs to it. I don't know, we got any teachers in chat that can tell us if that's still a thing really anymore, or if it's just... or if it's truly passé now? You know how I expect there to be teachers in my chat much more than students? And I've got you staring at the cutting board instead of what I'm cooking. Oops. Mushrooms ate all the oil in the pan. Can't even hardly find oyster mushrooms anymore. Most of the places just carry maitakes at a higher price point. And I don't want maitakes, I want oysters. So I want the oysters even if they're more expensive than maitakes. Doing pork chops with mushrooms, garlic, ginger, and soy tonight. Yum, 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 yum. You get them out here just fine in Texas? Well, the really odd thing is they grow them in Sonoma County. Like, we have several mushroom growers in Sonoma County, and, like, commercial mushroom, like, large-scale mushroom growers. I still can't hardly find them here. Like, the Safeway is the Whole Foods. I don't know if Oliver's has, but basically all of the mainstream guys around here, they don't have the boxes out for them anymore. They'll do the, like, plastic wrapped cartons of them. I had to go to the what do you call it? The healthy market. You know, the ones that used to sell all the Sprouts and all the fancy stuff before Whole Foods existed? I had to go to one of those in order to find them. Do they just sell fast? I think they've just, at least the retailers around here, have just chosen to do the maitakes at a higher price point than the oysters. Yeah. Though it is sort of strange, because the one I'm thinking of, like, they've got a couple of locations in the county, and they just sort of confuse me. Like, their product makeup. Yeah. Okay, so we got cake, we got mushrooms in the stew. Let's make some, yeah, we got Sprouts around here. I don't go very often because it isn't hugely convenient to me, but there's a nice one in Petaluma. I used to go to Sprouts all the time when I lived in LA. There was one right by my apartment. They're more of one than the place that I'm talking about. Like, they have, like, several aisles of all of the, you know, nutrients and supplements, and the one that I go to here every once in a while, it's got some of the natural herbal stuff going on. It's got a fair amount of bulk stuff, but it's really just a supermarket. I don't know what I want to do for this. This location in Petaluma is horrible, too. It's a relatively recent place they built. It's built since I moved out here. And, like, it's just so inconvenient to get into it. Like, I don't know who thought this was a brilliant plan for a location to put a mall. Like a strip mall. But, like, in order to get into the strip mall, you have to drive, like, through the Petaluma Fairgrounds area to even get into the mall. And, like, it's doing this huge... it's hard for me to explain, but it's doing this huge wraparound to avoid the freeway entrances onto the 101. And it's just so inconvenient. Like, the Target there is doing horrible sales. Most of the stores I've seen there have shut down. Anyone out there trying to start a business, convenience matters. You can't teach people either. Just remember those two things. People don't want to learn, and they don't want you to teach them. And they want it to be easy to get without you having to figure it out for them. Hey, Dances. For those just joining in, the cakes have been baked. They're cooling on the counter here next to me. And we've got the beef stew obviously simmering away. Why is this being such a problem? Just pull apart. Aren't you supposed to pull apart? Aren't you designed to pull apart? Why aren't you pulling apart? Little cream cheese. Can't say that I have. Like, we were just talking about TV shows a couple minutes ago, and I had gotten chat. It's like, I'm expecting a couple of weeks here where I'm not going to have as much to watch and give you a suggestion, and I didn't watch anything. And the other night I was sitting here, I was like, do I want to open up the game? And I'm sort of sitting at that point with most of the games that I have started, whether it's Minecraft or City Skylines, where I'm sort of jumping into something that's already started, sort of a thing, and that's sort of preventing me from wanting to jump back into them. Even though it shouldn't. I don't know, I just seem to have something in my head preventing me from doing anything that's fun in my life. This was an absolutely spur-of-the-moment decision and might have been a mistake, but I don't think it will be. No, but most of my free time lately has been working on getting cutting glass working. I'm starting a second stream called Cutting Glass. And spending lots of time working on that. Well, in reality, I have, like, huge plans that I'd like to do with my Minecraft world. That it's just the amount of work and time it's going to take. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to work on that instead. Or I'm going to fix SprinkleBot. Or I'm going to do this. Or I'm going to... And I spend all day working on SprinkleBot. LLMs tell me they fix things and then they still be broke. Has to be one of the most frustrating things ever about LLMs. It's the fact that they'll just sit there, bold-faced lie to you. Yeah, we fixed that. We did that. Doesn't work. Hey, Mimic. So I've been more spending what free time I have being like, well, I could do that with stained glass. That sounds like a cool idea. I could do that. I could do that. I feel like this is not enough frosting for this project. No, I haven't, Dances. I'm 85-90% way there. Soonish. Most of the work has been figuring out, like, I'm just using like a little Raspberry Pi like thing for controlling the cameras on cutting glass, and then it's just sending orders over to here. And so I've been spending tons of time figuring out those. Okay, this does this to switch this scene, this does that to switch that scene. Trying to figure out commands. I haven't even like touched channel points or a bunch of the other stuff that's going to be a little bit more complicated. I'm getting rid of a fair number of the things that I have as channel points here. Things like hair down or the scramble. Hair down because my hair down is probably going to already be down. I'm not going to be in the kitchen, so I'm not tying it up. A little lemon juice in there. It'll help loosen things up. Allow me to expand. I still don't think this is going to be enough frosting. Way to go, bot! You're doing so much better with that now, command. I'm working on frosting to put on these lovelies. Yeah, that's not enough frosting. Microwave still smells like smoked pork from the pork last night. come on, I just put it in here. That's green food coloring. Didn't make it down here already, did it? Is it a I'm staring at it and still can't see it thing? Oh, come on. Oh, there it is. Dummy. Hey, Soph. Orange extract. So our bottle is basically half empty to start. And vanilla. Touch more sugar. Just happen to be prepared for that. Nah, I think you're too small, too. We'll go with a charger plate. We're still sticking a little bit. The second one stuck a lot more than the first one. Roast beef? What's wrong with roast beef? I honestly don't know if it is or not. I just read it phonetically and of course that's what it is. It's always the French. You know, bailing out my country in times of need. Destroying the national language of other countries. Alright, we got a sort of crumb coat on the outside, which is all I was really hoping for, as far as icing. I'm not seeing any enormous gaps in there. There's some small spots. You paying, Splits? Okay, there does our basic frosting for our cake. Chat's like, when you gonna make a dreamsicle? We got orange and vanilla in the icing. I don't want to use either of those for this. I want to use you for this. And throw you in the fridge. Or in the freezer, rather. Since we have room in the freezer, I think. You've made orange creamsicle sugar cookies and they're amazing. They have cream cheese in them. Sounds odd, but it's great. In them. The little bit of booze that I am putting into this is going into this next step. Hey Blake, welcome in. And we're going back to both of these again. More vanilla. Now I don't know where I put the orange back. I hear it, I don't see it. I need more water. If I do this, is it going to show up? There we go. So it does show up somewhat. Network much happier tonight. Things working much better in that department. Still have a few network drop frames, but less than 1%. Why, hello there, room and board. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Hello, I'm Chef Jay Tay. I cook here on Twitch 4 nights a week regularly. Just coming back from a week break, though. And I am doing my birthday dinner tonight. We're doing beef stew, which we got on the stove there. We've got lovely hunks of beef, onion, garlic, carrot, celery, mushrooms, and all sorts of lovely liquid going on there. Just simmering away, just getting delicious. Probably needing about another hour on that, actually. And then over on the other side, I'm melting down some chocolate. Which, that doesn't show up on camera very well, but there we go. Melting a little white chocolate. Welcome in, Chef to Party. Hopefully you are well. What was Room and Board up to tonight? What were they making? Thank you for the raid if you're hanging out with us. I understand if you're busy breaking down the kitchen or just want to relax. The chocolate is going to be going on top of this, which was made earlier. This is a yellow cake with a vanilla and orange frosting and cream cheese frosting and butter frosting. And got that hanging out in the freezer here while we deal with our... That was a mistake. I hope I didn't get a ton of flavor in there. That was one heck of a mistake. If anyone was paying attention to what I just did there. Yeah. I might have just added a little beef stew to my chocolate. But also in with this white chocolate, also adding to the liquid value, there is Grand Marnier. Vanilla and orange extract. Why would we be thanking the stars? This isn't one of those astrology things, is it? Umami and chocolate can be okay. I think it's a little overhyped most of the time. Why you no melt? Why you no melty melt? You being all weird now, white chocolate. We need soft white chocolate, not just barely malleable. I've done something to change the science here. Oh hey, I can see our overlay is working perfectly for our ads. Awesome. Why you no melty chocolate? Why you want to be weird? It is suggesting oil, maybe? Yeah, I'm gonna try a little butter. I mean, it's over a double boiler. It's hot enough that it should be completely molten. It's just I've somehow messed up the white chocolate balance here by adding the booze. And liquid was too much for it or something. This is strange. I've never had chocolate do this to me. Has anyone had their chocolate mess up like this before? Like, it's completely soft, it's warm. It's just... that little bit of butter seemed to help a little bit, though. So let's do more. none of it doing nothing. Yeah, I've tried doing that with honey too. That just ain't loosening up at all. Well, it did a little bit, but not enough. I'm torn and tempted to throw basically the rest of this butter in there. Yep. We'll add just a little bit more butter in there. I just readjusted all my cameras during my week break here, and so I'm still working on figuring how to get this one to work with it on the other side of the stove from where it has been over the last couple of years. Like, it's still a paste. Like, it's not pouring at all, which is what I need it to do. Don't have cream to add. I would have added dairy long ago if that was in the house to use. Like, the butter is the only thing that sort of helped it out, but the amount of butter I would have to add in order to get that to... Let's try a little veg oil. Like, we're getting closer to what I want, but it's still not there. I don't know if this is going to be pourable at all. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work, chat. I think I just wasted an entire bag of white chocolate. Because that is not going to pour nicely on top of that. Like, not going to pour. Not even going to try, but... So... Don't put stuff in your white chocolate, folks. That's apparently how you ruin your white chocolate. No, water is not going to thin it. Water is most likely what caused it in the first place. I was trying to add fats, and the fats were doing some good. Not enough. Last ditch hope to fix it. Let's throw even more money at it. Nope. It's completely screwed. I can add so much butter to it that it separates. And it still doesn't pour. I broke the actual chocolate emulsion, I think. Well, there's not really much of an emulsion for white chocolate, but... yeah. Well, that sort of ruins the effect there. I was going to pour the creamsicle all over the top and... Boo. Boo. My brain seems to find a way of messing things up every single time I have a stream that I care about. Not sure what the deal is there with that, but yeah, this is definitely not going on top of the cake with that broken butter on there now. No hope. I just need to give up on that. At least I got key lime pie. And this beautiful looking beef stew. So this needs a little bit longer, I think, to get this beef all nicely cooked through. Not sure what else I have to spend the time on now. Let's see, what else do I have that I'm going to potentially throw in there before we're finished on that? Nothing. Yeah, I think we're going to take a little bit of an AFK. Because we're just waiting on the beef to cook now. Do we do a AFK with just the beef bubbling away? I want to give that at least another 20 minutes, but it probably could use even longer. "20 minutes is my initial estimate on the beef beginning to be ready, but I'm not sold on that. Bit of salt, bit of celery salt. Alright, we're going to allow that to cook for a bit. I'm going to give it another 20 minutes from here, I think. So we'll start a 20-minute timer. Ah! Moving the wrong thing around here. Alright, see you in 20. Oh hey. Oh hey, that timer might have ran out. Oops. Let's see here. Why can't I hear myself? It looks like I'm going through on the mic. It looks like it's showing through on OBS. It's just not hardly in my ear. It's working on captions too, so guess it's working. How we doing, folks? We all ready for some beef stew? I know I'm ready for some stew. Okay. I think we're there with the beef. It can maybe go a little bit longer, but we're comfy. It's delicious. Oh, I saved some roux the other day, didn't I? There you are. Nope, we're getting rid of you, because you're moldy. Boo. Oh, hey, did you want to see what I'm doing? Not just... Yeah, probably restarted the bot again. Well, I was thinking of dropping some butter and flour into this to thicken it up. Mexican stuffed sourdough bagels in the air fryer. What made them Mexican stuffed? Adding a bit of cold water to my cornstarch here and make a slurry. And we're going to add that slurry to this to thicken that sauce up a bit. Let's see what that gets us. I mean, we don't want it thick, but we do want it to have a little bit of body to it. Yeah, it looks pretty good right there. I'm not going to do any more. Yeah, let's just go with you tonight. I don't know if I want any of that either. I think I'm going to leave it just as is. And so there we got our beef stew for the evening. No! Let's see if this actually works for once. Really? What you trying to do, bot? Bot's trying to do things it shouldn't be over on YouTube. Yeah, I actually took a helicopter ride over Mount St. Helens at one point. Very, very intriguing, very interesting to see how it both completely, like, decimated what was there and how it has, in ways, recovered. Let's see what it gives us now, Soph. It's taken long enough that I think it's actually using the proper model. And you're having to probably warm that model up because it's been using... Part of the problem with the exclamation mark now for the last couple of days that I just discovered during the last break, it was defaulting to my lowest, dumbest, simplest model that I have available, which is absolutely useless for this. It's for, if you need like a one-word fix or something like that sort of a thing. And it's definitely taking a moment to wake up if it's actually working. I'm guessing it just failed and did what I told it to do and not keep trying to do the stupid things it was doing before. Yeah, it just absolutely failed. And YouTube is not happy either with the bot. So unfortunately, I think this is where we are going to leave this lovely evening. I'm going to go enjoy my beef. I'm probably going to have key lime pie for dinner tonight, for dessert tonight, rather than try and do something with this cake, which I should take out of the freezer at this point. Cake is not horrible, but it's sad that the chocolate just didn't work out. It's a bummer. Anyways, I'm gonna go enjoy beef stew. I greatly appreciate all of you hanging out with me tonight. I know it was a little bit of a slower one. I know I wasn't the happiest camper all day today. I still think I got a delicious dinner out of this, but yeah, I wish tonight was better than it was. Wish last night was better than it was with the internet lag. Just batting 1,000 here. Yeah. So I'll see. Oh, Wednesday. We need to figure out what we're doing on Wednesday. Which we pretty much already know it's going to be 5 spice, Chinese 5 spice. I think that is the winner. Waiting on Discord to load. Yep, so 5 spice powder will be Wednesday. We'll be making dinner and dessert using 5 spice. We got lots of other fun stuff coming up here in the weekend. We got Friday, going to be doing butter chicken pot pie. Sunday, we have, what state will we have next? Georgia. So Sunday's going to be just peachy. And next Monday, I'm going to be doing schnitzel. Schnitzel with spätzle. And I'm going to make a kiwi chutney. Often schnitzel is served with a sweet component instead of, and so we're going to do a kiwi chutney just to be different. So that's next Monday. And hopefully it turns out better than our cake did tonight. Thank you so much for joining in with me tonight. I'm not going to raid out tonight. I hope to see you all back here on Wednesday.